I just caught a glimpse of the ring.
Oh, yeah, you want to see?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Well, listen, so am I right in saying that Travis designed that ring?
He did. He designed it with this amazing jeweler, Kindred Lubeck is her name, and she does all of her gold engraving by hand. And I had shown him a video of, like, I just thought her stuff was so cool, so I'd shown him a video like a year and a half ago. And he was just paying attention to everything, it turns out. Because when I saw the ring, I was like, oh, I know who made that, I know who made that, I know who made that. And also, you listen to me. And like...
Weren't you nervous, though?
When he did good.
He did amazing.
For you.
It was like, you really know me. Like, I didn't know what I would want, but he did somehow. And that's kind of a flex.
There's something unusual about June 13th, 2026. On the surface, it looks like any other summer Saturday, warm, quiet, unassuming. But for Taylor Swift, fans believe this single day carries layers of meaning that trace all the way back through her childhood, her music, and the love story she's building now. It's the date everyone is whispering about, a date that keeps showing up in rumors, fan theories, and tiny hints that feel too intentional to ignore. Not because it's glamorous, not because it's dramatic, but because it seems to hold a kind of soft, hidden magic, the kind of magic Taylor has woven into her life for years. And when Swifties realized what June 13th actually represents, the internet exploded with one question. Why this day? Why would Taylor choose a wedding date that seems ordinary to the world, but quietly symbolic to anyone who knows her story? Today, we're uncovering that meaning, the gentle clues, the subtle patterns, and the love-filled reasons fans believe June 13th might be the most personal date Taylor Swift has ever chosen. When the rumor first surfaced that Taylor Swift had her heart set on June 13th, 2026, most people shrugged it off as just another tabloid headline. But to the fans who've followed her for years, fans who've learned to look for patterns, symbols, and hidden meaning, the date didn't feel random at all. It felt intentional. The moment the news broke, Swifties started pulling threads together. They remembered past interviews, the little traditions she's kept since her teens, and the quiet way she always chooses details with purpose. And suddenly, this date wasn't just a Saturday on the calendar anymore. It was a clue. Not a loud one. Not the kind designed to make headlines. But a soft, elegant hint tucked into a moment of her life that's supposed to be private and personal. Fans noticed something else, too. Taylor has never been careless with timing. Her album releases, her Easter eggs, even her public appearances often line up with symbolism only she understands at first. So when June 13th appeared as the rumored wedding date, it made people pause. Because for Taylor, timing is rarely accidental. And this date felt like part of a bigger story. To understand why June 13th matters, you have to understand Taylor Swift's relationship with one specific number, a number she's carried with her like a quiet good luck charm since she was a teenager. 13. Most artists have routines before a show. Taylor had rituals. She used to paint the number 13 on her hand before concerts. She's mentioned that she was born on the 13th. Her first album went gold in 13 weeks. Her first #1 song had a 13-second intro. Even the seats she chooses, the timing of certain releases, fans have spent years tracing a trail of 13ths, woven subtly through her career. But the number isn't just a superstition to her. It's a symbol. An anchor. A way of grounding herself when life gets chaotic. So when the rumored wedding date landed on June 13th, fans instantly felt that familiar spark. It wasn't the kind of date you choose by accident, especially not if you're someone who treats numbers like pieces of your story. And then Swifties noticed something even sweeter. June 13th is Taylor's half-birthday. It's small. It's personal. It's quietly meaningful, the kind of detail you choose not for the world, but for yourself. In the eyes of her fans, it felt like Taylor was marking the beginning of a new chapter with a number that's been with her from the very first page. Just when it seemed like the meaning behind June 13th couldn't go any deeper, fans uncovered something unexpected, a detail hidden in the numbers themselves. When you write the date numerically as June 13th, 26, it forms a pattern that caught the attention of Swifties who love analyzing symbolism just as much as Taylor loves planting it. 6 + 1 + 3 + 2 + 6 = 18. And 1 + 8 reduces to 9. For most people, That's just fun math. But for the fans who follow numerology, the number 9 represents something surprisingly fitting, the closing of one cycle and the beginning of another. It's tied to renewal, transition, transformation, all the quiet shifts that happen in life when you move into a new chapter. Whether Taylor chose that symbolism intentionally or it's just a beautiful coincidence, no one can say. But it added another layer to a day that already felt special. And suddenly, June 13th wasn't just a date anymore. It was a turning point, a moment that seemed to capture the exact energy of where she is in her life now. A moment of change, wrapped in numbers only the attentive would notice. When fans stepped back and looked at the bigger picture, the date started to align with something even sweeter, the story of how Taylor and Travis got here in the first place. It began with a friendship bracelet he never got to give her. A small gesture, almost silly in its simplicity, but instantly memorable. Then came the Chiefs game, where she appeared beside his mother, an unspoken announcement to the world. After that, the cross-country support, concerts, games, long flights, and quiet moments that the public only saw glimpses of. Their relationship wasn't rushed. It wasn't loud. It grew slowly, steadily, the way true things often do. And when the rumored wedding date surfaced, fans noticed how poetic the timing felt. June 13th sits almost exactly between the moment they met and the life they're stepping into next. It's a midpoint, a hinge, a day that feels like the line between everything that happened before and everything coming after. Their story is full of little moments that line up almost too perfectly, and June 13th feels like one more. A quiet tribute to the path they walked to get here. And then there's the setting, the piece that ties the entire picture together. Ocean House, the rumored venue, sits just across from Taylor's Rhode Island mansion, a place she's filled with memories, writing sessions, and some of the most serene moments of her career. The building itself looks like something out of a storybook, soft clapboard siding, wide ocean views, and the kind of timeless charm that makes it feel suspended between past and present. It isn't flashy. It isn't over the top. Instead, it's calm, romantic, intimate. Exactly the kind of place you'd choose for a day that holds personal meaning instead of spectacle. Fans pointed out how much the location mirrors the tone of some of Taylor's most emotional eras, the warm, nostalgic imagery of folklore, the coastal softness of Evermore, the quiet confidence of her later work. Everything about it fits the mood of a love story built on connection rather than attention. Whether the venue ends up being the final choice or not isn't the point. It's the way the setting matches the feeling behind the date, gentle, private, and full of story, that truly captures why June 13th stands out. As more pieces of the puzzle came together, fans began to notice something deeper about June 13th, something that went beyond numbers, venues, or even tradition. To many Swifties, the date doesn't just symbolize a wedding. It symbolizes a shift. For years, Taylor's life has played out like a series of eras, each one marked by a different sound, a different mood, a different chapter of who she was becoming. And now, with this new phase of her life unfolding beside someone who supports her in ways the world has seen only glimpses of, fans believe June 13th represents a gentle turning of the page. A fresh beginning. Not dramatic. Not sudden. Just the quiet, steady start of something new. People often talk about Taylor's career eras, but her fans have always known that her personal life has eras too, the seasons of growth, healing, and rediscovery that shape the woman behind the music. And this date feels like the start of another one. Whispers of family dreams, long-term plans, and a softer pace of life have floated through fan discussions. Not as speculation about headlines or gossip, but as genuine hope for someone they've watched navigate the highs and lows of public life with remarkable resilience. To them, June 13th isn't simply the rumored day she'll say, "I do." It's the day that marks her stepping into a chapter she's earned, one filled with calm mornings, chosen companionship, and a love story written on her own terms. And that's what makes the date feel so special. Not the rumors. Not the noise. But the possibility of a new beginning, shaped by someone who's spent years learning how to turn moments of meaning into milestones of her life. As the conversation around June 13th kept growing, A wave of rumors began circling, claims about venue changes, whispers about scheduling conflicts, even stories suggesting that another couple had to give up their spot. But as quickly as those stories spread, something else became clear. For most fans, the noise wasn't what mattered. Swifties weren't focused on the drama. They weren't fixated on insider claims or conflicting reports. What captured their attention was something much softer: the symbolism behind the date, the emotional significance woven into it, and the way it seemed to connect naturally to the rhythm of Taylor's life. Because at the heart of it all, this wasn't a conversation about logistics. It wasn't about contracts or planning or headlines. It was about intention. People have watched Taylor navigate a world that rarely lets her make decisions quietly, yet this particular choice felt deeply personal. The more rumors swirled, the more fans pulled away from the speculation and leaned toward what they did know. Taylor has always chosen her milestones with meaning. And that's why the date matters more than the stories attached to it. June 13th feels like a moment shaped by memory, love, and symbolism, not by the chatter surrounding it. Fans see it not as a headline to dissect, but as a piece of her story that reflects who she is now, grounded, thoughtful, and ready for a new chapter that doesn't need public approval to be beautiful. In the end, the whispers of drama only highlighted what was already true. No rumor could overshadow the quiet magic of a date that seems chosen for reasons far more personal than anything a tabloid could print. When you step back and look at everything, the symbolism, the timing, the personal history woven quietly into June 13th, the date starts to feel less like a rumor and more like a reflection of who Taylor Swift has always been. A storyteller, a meaning maker, someone who turns the smallest details into pieces of something bigger. Whether June 13th truly becomes her wedding day or remains a date carried in whispers, it has already taken on a life of its own. Not because of the headlines or the speculation, but because of what fans see in it, a moment shaped by intention, love, and the quiet poetry she's threaded through her life from the beginning. In the end, maybe the most beautiful part is that no one outside her circle knows the full truth, and perhaps no one needs to. Some chapters are meant to be felt more than explained, and some days carry their magic simply because a person chose them with their heart. If June 13th is the day Taylor steps into her next era, it won't be remembered for the rumors. It will be remembered for the meaning, for the symbolism, for the story that fans saw unfolding long before any vows were spoken. And maybe that's the real magic of this date, a gentle reminder that the biggest turning points in life often begin quietly, held close, long before the world ever learns their name.